It's a tough spot to be in. When you feel lost, when you don't know what direction your life is going, you could feel like you're trapped in a box. It's genuinely one of the most frustrating feelings. It's like you don't remember who you used to be. That person just seems to be gone. Your ambition is lost. You're in the fire. For me, it was such an overwhelming feeling. It was like my safe space, my escape, the thing that used to make me happy. It felt like prison. And I'm talking about basketball, my perspective, but it could be anything. So with me, my story is I was injured the whole basketball season. And every time I did something that I love, it was incredibly painful. Not just physically painful with the injury. So I had a torn meniscus and a torn groin. And I went through a full basketball season playing on that. But as somebody who's insanely competitive, what really, really drove me crazy was not being able to do what I wanted to do because my body was a limiting factor. And now you pair that with what's going on in your personal life and you just feel lost. You feel like the one thing that you could always rely on is taken away from you. So now all the other things that are going on in your life, the loss, the pain, it just amplifies because, again, that one thing is gone. Your safe space has become what's tormenting you. It felt like every single day I didn't know what to do. It felt like there was just something weighing down on me. I just didn't know what to do. That could be anything that you're going through. For me, it was basketball and some of the losses in my personal life. And I was just tired. I was just genuinely tired of feeling that way. I was in the fire. I was stuck. There comes a point in your life where you're just done. You are just sick and tired of feeling the way you're feeling, of being the person that you become. You don't like who you see in the mirror. It's driving you crazy. You're just done. You visit the dark place where all the pain, the uncertainty, the insecurities, everything just overflows and it just all comes at you all at once. Now this is the start of your journey. This is where you decide enough is enough. This is where you decide that you don't like where your life is. And this is where you pick the path of getting better. This is the start. This is the point where you stop adding to your pain. Sometimes you just gotta accept that the old you is no longer there. And you have to say goodbye to that person. You need to accept that it's time to rebuild, that it's time to transform your life. And you need to understand that nobody's coming to save you. And that this journey, you gotta do it yourself. You gotta do it yourself. And sometimes you just gotta find it in you to do it while you're in pain. It's just as simple as that. If you don't have another choice, you gotta do it while you're going through it. They say you fake it till you make it. This could be that situation where you're just going through it. Every day, you find strength in you that you didn't know you had. Piece by piece, brick by brick, day by day, you build. And it doesn't matter if you're in pain, you just build. And you build and you build and you build despite what you're going through. Some call that discipline, where it doesn't matter the external or the internal. You're just building. You're transforming yourself. You're using everything as fuel. This journey started for me when I detached who I was and who I wanted to be. I completely detached those two. I said goodbye to who I used to be. That person is no longer there. All I got is me right now. And once I accepted that, that's when I could dive headfirst into self-improvement. If you're in the situation where you just feel lost, you feel like your ambition is gone, you miss who you used to be, missing who you used to be is not going to do anything. Say goodbye to that person. Person's gone. All you have left is who you are right now. And all you can do is transform that person into who you want it to be because you don't have another choice. We fear change. We fear growth. We fear the journey because all of these are uncomfortable to us. anything that's different, anything that you're not used to, anything that makes you slightly uncomfortable, we fear, we push it away. We don't want it. And this fear is the bottleneck between where you want to be and where you are today. And once we eliminate this fear, that's where the true growth lies. Yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. Yes, it's not going to be easy. Yes, you need to be a stronger person. You need to be a more resilient person. You need to be a different person than who you were. You need to. Once we get over that fear, that's when things really start getting into place. That's when you start seeing and feeling better. We unlock our true selves when we unlock our brains. And our brains are the single most important things for you to be able to control. Because our body will listen to our brains. But the truth is, your brain can be your biggest weakness. And if you can find a way to turn that into your strength, you pretty much become unstoppable, because at the end of this journey, you have gone through something that nobody knows about. Nobody on the outside world knows what you're going through. It's just you and your mind. And if you can train your mind to become obsessed with growth, to become obsessed with becoming better, to become obsessed with becoming the person that you want to be, that's the key. That's when we free our souls from the shackles that are holding it down. So for me, this all started with my clothing brand Strive, and this is not a sponsor, nothing. Starting that up allowed me to reconnect with that fire inside of me. And this time it was slightly different. I always used to need external validation and approval and people thinking like good things about me. But when I started Strive, something snapped. Something inside of me just snapped, where I was fully devoted to something again. And that devotion, that passion, that intensity, I hadn't felt that in a very, very long time. The action of growing it, the creation, the learning, everything was new, was inspiring, made me happy. It was something that I was passionate about. It was something that I could pour my soul into. Project 50 on Instagram was step 2. This was when I created a single piece of content about self-improvement every single day for 50 days. And this held me accountable. This made me disciplined. This made me think outside of my comfort zone. This made me think in a way that was creative and that allowed me to figure out something that I love to do, which is to create and which is to share and which is to connect. So all the while this was going on, I was becoming obsessed with the process, and I didn't know it at the time. And I figured out that the journey is what feeds our soul. And the results then just become starting points for where the next journey takes you. You are the canvas and the painter.